Hi, everybody. This is Dr. Diane Hayden with Costerella to how to thrive in these changing times, what your soul is calling you to do now. And we're excited today to be talking about the card of your relationship. What is the karmic destiny of the card between yourself and a significant other or family member or sibling or friend? And we're also going to be talking about the days of the week, what day you were born on and what planet rules that day and what is the best focus of that day. So we're going to jump into that because I think that'll be the easier thing to cover. So everybody on the call today was requested to just know the day of the week that you were born on. If you don't know that, you can probably quickly do a Google search and just type in, I believe you can just type in your birthday, month, day, and year, and it'll actually tell you what day of the week you were born on if you don't already know. So let's start there. I'm going to leave it up to you, Marianne, as to what day you want to start with.
Okay. I guess maybe what I'd like to just say, just give a brief little synopsis of days of the week and the fact that each day of the week is ruled by a different planet. So I'm going to speak generally and then we'll move in. How many people do we have on the call right now? Do you know? Can you tell?
We have 11.
11. Okay.
Yep.
All right. So then we'll move into the planets ruling that day. So every day of the week, of the 7-day week that we are aware of, chronologically living this calendar as we do, has a planet that rules that particular day, which means that planet gives energy to a day of the week universally. However, here's the complex part, and I'm going to ask you to kind of keep this in mind when I give you the information around your specific birthday. So the universe has a day of the week that it was born on, okay? And you have a day of the week that you were born on. So the universe's energy and your energy may or may not be the same. You might have been born on the same day that the universe was born on, or not. And so if you're born on a different day of the week, then there's going to be two conflicting energies going on. So let me make it simple and tell you by starting to say that Monday is the day that the universe was born. Okay. So people say, well, Mondays are usually always busier. There's more traffic on Mondays. Work is busier because, you know, that's the day people go back to work, or that's the day that the week starts. Well, who determined that? Where did that come from? How do we know that? Why is that the case? I will tell you metaphysically it's the case because Mercury, the planet Mercury, rules Mondays. So M and M. So Mercury has to do with travel. Mercury has to do with communication. Mercury has to do with the mind, you know, movement, presentations, anything mercurial, anything having to do with the mentality is Mercury. So the universe was born on a Monday because that's the day of the week that Mercury rules the world. And that's the day Mercury, you know, rules Mondays. Tuesday is Venus for the world. So we're looking at 7 planets. I'm going to run through 7 planets. Each are going to govern a different day of the week. Tuesday, Venus. So on a Tuesday, the world is dealing with a lighter energy. They may stay at home more. It may be a quieter day. I notice there's not as much traffic on Tuesdays. When I worked at the hospital, we didn't have the admissions and discharges on Tuesdays. Admissions and discharges always happened on Mondays for some unknown reason. Okay. Because nobody really delves into why is that? Why was Monday the day that admissions and discharges happened? Why is Monday the first day of the week? Why is Monday the day everybody goes back to work? Because Monday is ruled by Mercury. Tuesday is ruled by Venus, and things are a little easier on Tuesdays. Wednesday is ruled by Mars. So Wednesday is get up and go. Anything that you were lazy about on Tuesday, when you weren't working to your full capacity, On Wednesday, you're going to be focused on being very determined, possibly aggressive. It rules sexuality. It rules just more of a get up and go. I'm going to get this thing accomplished today that I didn't do yesterday when I was feeling lazier on Tuesday. So Wednesday, there might be more traffic, there may be more accidents, there may be more conflict between people because Mars is ruling everybody's energy on that day. On Thursday, Jupiter is the ruling planet. Jupiter is a planet that usually brings abundance into people's lives. It might bring in more money. It might bring in a desire to, I don't know, expand your home, expand your business in some way. It means thinking big, wanting more of something. If we think about it, Thanksgiving is always on a Thursday. Thanksgiving is the feast or the holiday of abundance, of plenty. It never changes. That day of the week never changes. Christmas changes, Passover changes, you know, days of the week, what day things fall on. But Thanksgiving always falls on a Thursday. So Thanksgiving is abundance, cornucopia, that kind of energy. So things from the universe may come into your life in an abundant way on a Thursday. Sometimes people are paid on Thursdays. Sometimes you get a check in the mail you didn't expect on a Thursday. Sometimes somebody gives you a compliment on a Thursday you weren't expecting because Jupiter is ruling the energy of that day. However, on Friday, and let me just go back to Thursday for a second. People like Thursdays. Thursdays used to be a day when I was in college that everybody went out on a Thursday night because Thursday was anticipatory of the weekend.
Thursday
Friday,
was nickel night
That's right.
at UConn. You could get beer for a nickel. Are you
A
kidding
nickel.
me?
I
You're
remember
right,
when
though,
I was
Thursday nights. Everybody went out on Thursday nights.
on
Yep.
Thursday night. Yes, Thursday was the big night. Exactly. So there, that's an energy. That's not just, oh, we just do it on Thursdays. No, that's energetically, there's an energetic drive behind the day. And so energetically, Thursday is the day to be in a good mood, to anticipate the best happening, you know, to be given a gift from the universe, only nickel beers on Thursday, whatever the case may be. Okay, that's the way that the universe is rewarding us. However, the day that most people anticipate being the really great day, Friday, you know, because that's the end of the week. Oh no, Friday is ruled by Saturn. So a lot of times on a Friday, when you're thinking or expecting that things are going to be easy because you got the weekend facing you, Friday can be that last little snag just as you're trying to leave the office or finish work, and things just come in a way that, you know, are just not as easy and flowy as they were on Thursday. Friday always has a heavier energy to it, a Saturnian energy, but from the world. It may not be your Saturn day, but it is the world's Saturn day. So
It's
that
interesting
means,
I was just going to say, it's interesting you say that because I have a lot of friends that I love to go out on a Friday. I would rather go out on a Friday than on a Saturday, but I have many friends that refuse to go out on Fridays. It's the end of the week. It's Friday. They want to go home. They want to nest. They want to relax, and then they'll go out on Saturday. So that is so interesting that you say that. It's either maybe also their Saturn day, or they're just more sensitive to Friday being Saturn and just being like, you know, I'm tired. I want to, you know, I want to go home. I want to relax on Friday. I can get to bed early, and then I can spend the rest of my weekend doing, you know, fun things.
Right. Well, yeah. And I mean, they're being more disciplined on a Friday. Okay. Because Saturn is basically the planet of discipline and responsibility. Okay. So he likes people to be responsible. He likes people to be disciplined. So they're practicing their own self-discipline on that day and saying, okay, I'll go out on Saturday. The other reason, quickly, you're born on a Thursday. So Friday for you is your Venus day. So that's your fun day. That's Venus rules friendships. It rules romantic relationships. It rules home decorating. It rules, let's make this pretty. Let's have fun. Let's go out with my group of friends. So Friday for you would be the day to go out because it's Venus. But for them, it may be a million other, who knows what their energies are that day. But you're getting the energy of Saturn because they're burdening or restricting you with their decision to be disciplined.
Right.
Okay. All right. So let's see. So Friday, Saturn, and then Saturday is ruled by Uranus. So Saturday feels lighter. It feels freer. It feels like, okay, I can get out of that yucky box that I was in on Friday. I'm free from the restrictions in most cases from work. This is my day to either, I don't know, catch up on home issues or, go out for a run or go out to dinner, whatever the case may be. Saturday is more of a day of, kind of upsetting the status quo. I'm not doing today what I do all week long, and I have a certain amount of freedom connected with that. So that's Saturday. And then Sunday is ruled by Neptune. And Neptune is kind of seeing life through rose-colored glasses. Neptune doesn't want you to make any real big decisions on a Neptune day. You don't see things as clearly. Sunday is a day of rest, so to speak. It's a day where people are just not out and about as much as they might even be on a Saturday. So it's not a day to sign a contract. It's not a day to, and people would say, well, who would sign a contract on a Sunday? Well, why aren't contracts signed on Sundays? Well, they just aren't, because that's the day of the week that we worship, or that's the day of the week that we're home. Well, who made that decision? Or when was that made? Or who, nobody really has an answer to those questions. So again, back to the planetary energies, to the influences, to the way things have always been done. And now metaphysics is saying there's a higher reason for these days being what they are. So Sunday, a day to just kind of chill. And, basically, I used to notice that snowstorms happened a lot on Sundays. And I think it was to give people, just that opportunity to quarantine like we're doing now, to sit behind the window pane and look at the pretty snow and not go out and do anything and just be more meditative. Okay, so those are the 7 days: Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. Mercury will always be the day that you were born. So why don't we start with whomever? How do you want to go, Diane?
Well, we could just do me, and everybody's going to we'll figure it out, right? So,
all right.
So basically what you're going to say, I believe, is you, whatever day you were born on. So I was born on a Thursday.
Right.
So Thursday for me is Mercury, and then you
That's
just
right.
go through the list exactly like we just did. So Friday would be Venus, Saturday would be Mars. Sunday would be Jupiter, Monday would be Saturn, Tuesday would be Uranus, and Wednesday would be Neptune.
That's right.
So that's for someone born on a Thursday.
That's right. So for somebody born on a Thursday, your best day of the week is Sunday. Your hardest day of the week is Monday. Always. Okay, so the most amount of conflictual issues or things that you don't want to deal with happen on a Monday if you're born on a Thursday. Your good luck day, the day that, is just really a nicely aligned energy day for you, is Sunday. Mercury.
Let me just make sure everyone's clear about that. So what you're basically, because we picked Thursday,
right.
For me, you're saying my best day is Sunday. That's because Sunday is Jupiter for me.
That's right.
And the hardest day for me is Monday, because Monday would be Saturn for me.
That's right. Yeah.
And I believe that. Like, Monday is definitely more of a struggle for me than any of the other days of the week.
Okay. Yep. And it will always be, absolutely, will always be that way. Yeah, it's just, I mean, my youngest daughter who just had the baby, labor on Tuesday, delivery on Tuesday night. I mean, that's just the way it works. Just, and it always, I mean, could give you a million examples, but it's just, it is that way.
So you're probably going to go into something else, but I just want to ask this question. What does it mean? So for example, I'm born on Thursday, so Thursday for me is Mercury,
mhm.
yet it's Jupiter for the universe. How do those two planets interact, or
No.
could
It's not
not at
Jupiter
all?
for the universe. It's Jupiter for you. Okay, so this is what I was saying at the beginning. The day that you're born, unless you're born on is anybody on the call born on a Monday?
Yes.
If you were born on a Monday, yeah,
Claudine.
or just, yeah.
Okay, so the person who's born on the Monday, okay, hi, Claudine.
Hi.
You are born on the same day as the world. So essentially, every single day, every single planet that rules the universe is going to rule you. So you're totally in sync. So on Thursday, so Monday is Mercury for you, Tuesday is Venus, Wednesday is Mars, Thursday is Jupiter. That means you get a double Jupiterian influence. You get your own Jupiter and you get the world's Jupiter. So Thursday is a very lucky, fortunate, abundant day for you, usually. Okay, Thursday is a great day. Friday, however, is double Saturn. So you're going to get the Saturnian influence of the universe, and you'll have your own Saturn lessons to deal with on that day as well. So Friday will be doubly difficult for you because you're lined up with those planets. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Thank you.
So, but for everybody else, anybody who is not born on a Monday, your planets and the universe's planets are always going to be out of sync, so to speak. So, Di, for you, you're born on a Thursday. But Sunday, your Jupiter day, is the world's Neptune day. Okay.
Right. So what does that mean? Yeah.
So, I mean, so the combination is that, it's good luck for you. And you may feel like, gee, you want to do something with that energy, but the world is sleeping. The world is kind of quiet on that day. Okay.
Why is everybody sleeping when I want to do something? That's the story of my life.
There you go. So that's, yes. So that's how it works. Monday, when it's your hardest day of the week, Saturn, the world is on Mercury, and the world wants to get up and go and just keep, challenging you with more questions, more communications, more this, more that, and you're like, I can't slow down. I can't deal with all of this.
I was ready for you yesterday, not today. Too bad.
Right. Yeah. So it's that kind of thing. So you have to look at what's the day I'm always in my head with what day is it for the world and what day am I on today? Yep. Okay. Because that's really how it's going to work. So I think another thing that we left out here, and I'm sorry, I apologize for continuing to go back and forth, is that Mercury means it will be your best day for communication. It's your best day for networking, your best day for meetings. This is for everybody. It's good for traveling and phone calls, writing, teaching, presentations, quick trips, mentality, and movement. That's what Mercury is going to rule. So if it's your Mercury day, you expect to have a lot of mental energy going on, a lot of communications, a lot of texts, a lot of emails, a lot of phone calls, possibly a lot of driving, writing. It's a good day to do a presentation if you're involved in that sort of work, because your mind is in your mouth, so to speak. So whatever's going on in your head is going to come out of your mouth very easily because Mercury rules the head. Does that make sense? Mercury rules the head. So it would be a good day for you to do some talking on that day.
So whatever day you were born on, essentially.
That's right. Whatever day you're born on.
Is this day for you.
That's right. Yeah. Okay. So Venus is about, like I said, decorating, friendships, love, romance, women, music, art, entertainment, fun time with people you love. That's what Venus is about. Mars, I said, aggressive, passionate, action-oriented, warrior planet. Anger, sex, legal action, conflict, marketing, all of those things. Okay, let's see. Jupiter, I said, was a day of gains and rewards. It can only be good, usually with Jupiter, growth and expansion. Saturn, restrictions, challenges. If you opened your belt up on a Jupiter day, you need to close it on Saturn. So Saturn doesn't like the fact that you opened your belt up and now you spent all this money, and now the next day Saturn's going to go, what did you go and do that for? So that's kind of how the energies work a little bit there. And then Uranus is a day of change, rebellion, truth. It might have to do with being involved in a group, real estate matters, good day to sell a house, possibly on a Uranus day. You know, any activity that would promote freedom. So if you want to get out of the old, you want to leave the old house and buy a new one, a Uranus day or Uranus energy is very helpful for that because it likes to upset the status quo. And then finally, Neptune is a day that you should escape, go on vacation, spirituality, meditation, you know, just kind of chilling on a Neptune day and not necessarily making any decisions, but just hanging out. Neptune is great for hanging out. All right. So we did Claudine, we did Diane. Beverly, what day of the week are you born on? She's saying Friday.
She's not. Well, you can either type it or unmute. Just type it in the chat box.
I think she said Friday.
Yep, Friday.
Friday. Okay, so you're born on the day that the world is in Saturn. So every Friday for you, you're gonna want to do a lot of communicating, and it's gonna be a tough day for the world. The world may challenge you with that. You know, the world may not be as open to wanting to talk and hang out and communicate and whatever. The world has other issues and problems, so there will be a conflict there between your desire to pick up the phone and the world's desire to be cooperative with that in some way. Okay, so, and then the rest of those days, do you understand then that Saturday is Venus for you and Sunday is Mars, Bev? I can't hear, she's not, do I need to unmute her or?
Hold on, let me see if I can unmute her. She may, yep. Go ahead.
Yeah. So
she's writing furiously, that's why.
Okay.
So you just go, I'm getting a little confused as you're talking. Maybe I'm gonna rip off the sheet here, yeah.
What are you confused about?
You start again about Friday. I thought you were talking about me, but you were talking about the world.
I was talking about both. So you're born on a Friday, right, and the world is dealing with Saturn on a Friday. So it's Saturn's energy on Friday. So the world is going to kind of be restrictive about what you want to communicate about on Friday. Friday is a hard day for communication. The world is just, it's dealing with its own issues. It may not be as open to communicating with you on Friday, if that makes sense.
Okay, but that means my own, it's a Mercury day for me.
That's right.
The first day, right?
Right. That's right. That's the day you were born. Yeah.
All right.
So I think what Marianne is saying, Beverly, is that Friday for you is going to be a day that you want to do a lot of communication.
Yeah.
And it's going to be difficult because the rest of the world is in more of a, you know, shutdown, more difficult, tougher type of day. So you might have trouble doing as much communication that you want to do.
All right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's because it's a Mercury day.
Mercury for you, right? And
for
Saturn
me.
for the world. Yep.
Okay,
yes.
Got it. All right. And so just to check, so that means my my own personal second day would be Venus,
Yes.
but Venus is, and this is where I get confused.
I know.
Saturday's
So
Venus for you. Yep. And Uranus for the world.
That's right.
All right. And we're going to do just one more. So then Sunday would be Mars for me,
Yes.
Yep.
but
And Neptune for the world.
Right.
So again, those two are, that's a conflict too. Like Mars, I feel is very, like you said, very aggressive, focused,
Right.
determination, but the world is in Neptune, which is like, let's slow down.
That's right. Yep.
so do I have any days where I'm aligned?
No.
Jupiter, Monday is your good
Yeah.
luck day. So that's Jupiter, and the world is on a Mercury day. World is just being born on a Mercury day. So the world will be open to good things coming to you, or will give you good things in your life on Monday.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tuesday is your hardest day of the week.
That's when I am in
Saturn.
Saturn. All right.
Yep.
And the world is in Venus.
That's right. Good.
All right.
Yep.
And it's hard. See, I'm not retaining what Saturn is versus what Venus is. So why is that the hardest day?
So Saturn is the lesson master. He's, he gives people lessons that they have to deal with. And the day of the week that your soul chose to get the lessons, is Tuesday.
Okay.
So every Tuesday of every week for your entire life will always be the hardest day of the 7. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but you're assuming the lessons aren't good. What?
Well, I mean, I'm not saying that they may be for the greater good, but they are going to be challenging. It's going to be more of a challenging day for you. Let me say that. Okay. Do you find that's the case out of 7 days? Do you find that Tuesday is more difficult?
It's more difficult than Monday.
Okay.
I like the end of the week more.
Okay.
All
right. Well, yeah, because the end of the week is Uranus, Neptune, and then Mercury. Those planets are more freer and more less conflictual. But the beginning of the, Tuesday is definitely your hardest day of the week. So you'll have to watch that.
Okay.
All right.
Wednesday seems to be one of my favorite days. Why is that?
Because you've just come out of Saturn and you feel freer that day. You feel like, the burden has been lifted. So Tuesday is not weighing down on you. Usually people feel that way right after they've come out of Saturn, like, oh, this feels lighter. This is better. Okay.
Yeah. All right.
It's freedom. Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. I think we if people have questions about this, I think they can certainly type in the chat room and we can help them later. But I think we want to move to doing the card of the relationship, because I think that's going to take us a good half hour to get through.
Okay.
Everybody.
Yep.
Yeah. So before I move on, anything else that you wanted to say about the planets, or?
No, I think for now, if people are confused, just a general statement, then leave out the universe, okay? And just focus on the day of the week that you were born and, move from there. So Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, don't add what's going on in the world to it, because that's more confusing.
Can I just ask one question? So I'm a Monday. So because I'm aligned with the world, what exactly does that mean? Everything's in sync for me all the time, or?
It means that, obviously everything is double. The energy of whatever the planet is that's ruling the day is doubled. So for you, you're going to have double the amount of communications on a Monday.
Okay.
Okay. You're going to have maybe double the relaxation on a Tuesday, or chilling on a Tuesday, or feeling, more like everything is easier on Tuesday. On Wednesday, you might have double the anger and aggression. On Thursday, you'll have double the gifts and the positivity coming in. And on Friday, you may have double the negativity or double the lessons or the, you know, challenges that might come in on a Friday. So it just means that because you're aligned with the world, you and the world are going to be experiencing the same energy on the same day.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anybody else?
So, so I think what we do next is we have people in the chat put in their birthday, and you need the entire birthday, correct? Month, day, and year?
I don't need the year. I just need
just month
the
and
day.
day?
Yep.
Okay. Month and day, and the month and day of one other significant person that you want to know the card of your relationship, the two of you together. Basically, it's what is the karmic destiny of your relationship with that person, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I'm getting a bunch here.
Okay.
So I need both dates. I need your month and day and the other person's month and day. So Beverly Beverly said the first two are March 21st.
Yeah.
Which is her birthday, and July 26th.
Okay, so the the card of the relationship is the 4 of spades, Diane.
That's me.
Yes. And today is a 4 of spades day. So it's a spade relationship, which will essentially mean that, you know, it will rule health and work. 4 of spades is a card, the name of the relationship between the two people is the card of determination. So, you know, it has to do with just being very hardworking, possibly using, you know, language, intelligence, artistic abilities to bring forth a really nice combination of energies. It's a very hardworking, it's the worker bee card of the deck. Very hardworking card. And it's a 4, so it likes a lot of stability and security within the relationship. So, you know, that just gives you just an overview. I mean, the card is the 4 of spades. You can look up, if any of you have the Destiny card book or love cards, you can look up what the 4 of spades is about. But essentially, it's about, you know, being very determined in the relationship, focusing on what it needs. You're willing to work very hard to keep the relationship going. It likes stability and security. It's the box, so to speak. And it's a very fortunate relationship connection. It's a good connection to have with somebody else. Who was that had that?
That was Beverly.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Awesome.
Yep. Yep.
So then Andrea is June 7th and January 31st, which is my mother's birthday.
Ah, okay. So June 7th. And I'm sorry, and well, January 31st, you said.
Correct. Yep.
So that's the 4 of clubs. So really wonderful card for relationship. The Ace of Hearts rules this relationship. So very loving. The Ace of Hearts is a very loving energy. It's the desire for love that exists within each person. And you're each bringing that desire to the relationship, which forms a very, almost as if you knew each other before you met. And as soon as you met, there was this, you know, instant love connection or instant feeling of knowing the other person. So it can be about the birth of a new life, the birth of a new love between two people, but it's very pure. Ace of Hearts usually are young souls and they're looking for love, and they may have found that in this relationship. The caution is to make sure that because it's an ace, that you're not focused on just your own needs or your own desires, as sometimes ones are or aces can be, but that you bring that desire for love into the relationship in a way that behooves both of you. So it's important to stay independent within the relationship. The ace likes that you each have an independent life and that you're not, codependent on the other. But, it's a beautiful relationship that comes together very quickly because of the fire of the heart and the fire of the one. But just be aware that you will each have your own needs, and you may need to keep working on that within the relationship so that they each get satisfied in a way that doesn't compromise the the overall peace in the relationship.
Okay, that's nice.
Yep.
Cliff is May 16th and February 26th.
Okay. And wow, another one. So this is a 2 of hearts relationship. And that basically is, when I think about, I don't know, a card that I would really like to govern a relationship that I'm in, it would be the 2 of hearts, because the 2 of hearts means a union in love. So unlike the ace, this is more about 2 hearts coming together and really communicating, each of them communicating from the heart in a way that makes the connection really sweet and wonderful, because the 2 bows to the 1. So 2 says, I'm willing to do what you'd like to do. And the other person says, and I'm willing to do what you'd like to do. So as long as there's not so much bendings that neither one of you are getting what you want, but just to be able to be careful that, communication and cooperation are all part of this energy. But it's the love affair card. The 2 of hearts is the love affair card. So it's really tells me that there are 2 hearts in this relationship that really want to work together at learning about love from each other. So like I said, it has a, I would say the only caution here is that the relationship doesn't become too codependent, where one is always giving in to the other and vice versa. That you each be able to maintain a sense of self and at the same time, love the other as well. So really amazing. Both relationships, Ace of Hearts and 2 of Hearts, are just very sweet, youthful, refreshing energies, very unconditionally loving.
That sounds like Cliff.
Yeah.
Yeah, we talked to him last week.
Yeah.
So then Tracy is January 24th and February 1st.
Okay. And February 1st is Ace of Diamonds relationship. So another ace. It can be a very entrepreneurial relationship where the 2 people are very focused on birthing new ideas about possibly how to make money, business ideas. They're very networking together. They always are coming up with, different plans about how to be financially creative. It's a diamond, so they're looking for value. It doesn't necessarily have to be money. It can be more It could be ambition, could be part of the energy of this ace. You know, ambition to be visible, like I said, to come up with new business ideas or ways of maybe not just for the goal of making money, but for feeling valuable, I guess I would think of when I think of the Ace of Diamonds. Like, how can I feel valuable and how can I turn that possibly into a business venture of some sort? It's about, you know, feeling self-worth. It's driven by a lot of desire. It's an ace, so it's a 1. The two people coming together could really come up with some great ideas to further their own. It's like they're birthing a new set of values, and I don't know what that might be. It might be they're in business together, or they want to be, or they're always thinking about how they could, you know, move from here to there, that sort of thing. So there's a lot of Martian energy, like desirous energy to move forward, and they're very imaginative together. So my son-in-law is the Ace of Diamonds. He's always coming up with different kinds of ideas about, you could do this, you could do that. So there's a lot of imagination in this ace. So if you put 2 heads together, that could be a positive in that way. So that's what that Ace of Diamonds is about.
Okay. So then Claudine is May 8th and October 29th.
Okay. So May 8th is the Jack of Diamonds. And let's see, October 29th. Have to do some quick math here to add up these values, because each card has a different value. And October 29th, you said,
Yep.
So that is the 6 of Hearts. So, okay, so that relationship, again, believe it or not, is the 4 of Spades. So, like I said earlier, very hardworking relationship, it's got a lot of integrity to it. It likes security and stability. It's very determined. So Di, I would say that's one thing describing you, a lot of determination, really good listening skills. Oh, sorry. Phone's ringing. You know, and also very artistic. There's a possibility that you bring, when you come together, you bring artistic skills out in the other. I don't know how they might be described, but anything having to do with, you know, beauty or enhancing the beauty of your environment in some sort of way. The Ace of Spades, the 4 of Spades is, you know, is an employee that you would always like to have. So the two of you together working on a relationship or working on a business or whatever it is that you're doing together is really, you know, could have some very positive outcomes because you're both very determined to get there. So it's a nice energy, nice card, definitely. Relationship.
Okay. Then we have Karen, which is July 1st and October 21st.
Okay. So 2 aces coming together, the Ace of Spades and the Ace of Clubs. This is amazing, another 2 of Hearts relationship. So another relationship that's defined as a union in love. Very heart-centered, 2 people who've really found each other and want to work on loving each other from the, you know, basically from the inside out. The focus is love in this relationship, may not be values or hard work as much as it is love, learning how to love the other in a way that you're kind of both really good mirrors for each other, I guess I would want to say. You see yourself in the other, and the other sees themselves in you. And you just have to work on not, what do I want to say, not accentuating a power struggle in any way, because sometimes hearts, can be childlike in their sense of who's in charge here, who's got the power, who's got the control. So it would be important to kind of, work on letting go of that, and just allowing your partner to be who they are, and them allowing you to be who you are, so that both of you can just feel the love and accept it in that way. But it's a really wonderful connection. It's about a lot of giving and trust and selflessness and that sort of thing.
Okay. God, it's amazing how many
I know.
similarities there are. I'm like, which one's going to be next?
There's two of hearts and 2 4 of spade relationships here.
Yep,
That's
and an
amazing.
ace of heart and an ace of diamond, and 2 aces.
That's right.
Yep.
That's right.
So,
yeah.
So then next is Allison, and she is June 22nd and November 29th.
Okay. So June 22nd is the 8 of clubs. And November 29th is the 4 of hearts. So, so that is a Queen of Clubs relationship. So of course, being a queen, she's in the royal court, and she's very, very service oriented. Queen of Clubs are usually they're very mental. They're up in their heads a lot. They are very speedy. They're very quick. That energy when it comes together sometimes can be, there can be an impatience because they're very high strung. So the Queen of Clubs is very high strung because she has a lot of mentality and she gets things very quickly. It's the card of self-awareness and grace. Those are the 2 characteristics that define this relationship. So it has a lot of intuitive intelligence, and a lot of mental organization. So that all that club energy, even though the second person is a heart, there's a lot of club energy from the 8 of clubs. And then the card itself that characterizes the whole relationship is high on the club list. So a lot of self-awareness, a lot of intuitive intelligence, and a lot of mental organization. So you're going to be drawn to someone, obviously, who has those talents as well. And there's a quick wit to the relationship. The 2 of you get things very quickly together. It's like a quick download. It goes in and boom, you've got it. You don't have to necessarily wait for the other person to figure it out, because your intuition is, I guess I would say, just it's multiplied in this relationship. This queen, though, likes a lot of respect. She's almost at the very top of the suit of clubs. So she really doesn't want any secrets kept. She wants communication to be open and honest. She's very, I don't want to say demanding, but she has a lot of expectations in those ways. So anything less than that would compromise her crown, so to speak. So I think it's a wonderful relationship as long as you can handle the honest. Hopefully there's a lot of honesty in the relationship, I guess is what I want to say, because this queen can intuit if there isn't, and that would be damaging to the relationship. She's very intuitive and very laser-like, knowing in what she knows, and she wants only the best for her reign. So
Okay. And then
yep.
Sheila is December 6th.
December
And
6th. Okay.
And November 9th.
Yes. Okay. 8 of Spades relationship. So the 8 of Spades is a card of huge professional integrity. The description of this relationship card is the path of endurance. So each partner has a lot of respect for the other. There was definitely destiny at play when these two people met or came together. The timing was right. It was supposed to happen. It was definitely fated. There's a lot of commitment between the two people, a lot of stability in the life. Family is a very strong part of this commitment. Yeah, 8 of Spades people, when I think about the card itself, is just, you would certainly, just like you'd want a 4 of Spades person working for you, you would definitely want an 8 of Spades working for you. They have a lot of integrity. They also are, what do I want to say, being very, very professional, having a lot of integrity. There's a high-mindedness about them, and they expect nothing less than hard work and endurance and hanging in there with each other and giving it all and giving it the very best that you have together. It's a very empowering connection. So, you know, basically these two people can accomplish whatever they want to set out to do, just like someone who is an 8 of Spades. Whatever they have in mind to get accomplished, that's what they usually end up doing. So if you bring two people together with this energy, they will endure whatever the challenges are on the path to continue to keep doing it over and over again. So it's a Spades like to hang in there. They're, you know, very determined in that way. And so, like I said about the 4 of Spades relationship, it's a card of determination. So Spades are very serious about staying in for the long haul, and that's what this card is about.
Okay, and then I'll do me.
Okay.
4 Spades, and Chris is Ace of Diamonds.
Okay.
It's the 2 birth cards you're comparing, correct?
I am. I'm taking the 2 birth cards, and then they each have a solar value, and then I have to add them and then subtract 52 from them. 27. So you have a 5 of Clubs relationship, which is, I could definitely see that. 5 of Clubs is travelers. The 5 likes to change it up, doesn't like to kind of stay in one place, literally. I mean, it could be just in terms of the travel that you do. Obviously, Chris is a Gemini, you have Moon in Gemini, so that enhances the travel piece. The name of the relationship is the curiosity of love. So it likes a lot of physical and mental adventures. It's kind of a wild ride, so to speak, this relationship. There's a lot of changes and, you know, differences in the way you perceive yourself and perceive the other person. It's very exploratory. 5s don't like to, I mean, even though you're in a committed relationship, 5s don't like to commit to things being the same all the time. They like to change it up. They like to, so even if you're changing it up by exploring different geographies, then that helps you to kind of explore yourself perhaps more deeply. there's a dreaminess in the connection. Five of Clubs is kind of a young soul. When I think of a Five of Clubs person, I think of someone who's maybe not been here for many lifetimes. They're here to seek adventure and to not have the gates closed, so to speak. So you may, you may have felt like you knew each other when you first met. It has that kind of dynamic to it. But, you both have this exploratory nature, and I think you're applying it not only in your work, but also in exploring each other. And what is this ride of love all about? I'm curious about you. I'm here to learn, that sort of thing. So it's a club relationship, which, again, is feeding the head in some way. It's more about like, what am I here? I'm here to learn about myself. What can you teach me? That sort of thing. So.
Yeah, I would totally agree with that on a number of levels. I definitely felt like we had known each other from a past life. Mm-hmm. When we first met, we used to have hours of conversation about all different kinds of like philosophical topics.
Right.
And then as far as, well, everybody probably knows, we live in two different places. We live in New England. We also live in Florida. And we've also done two major trips, one cross country for 8 weeks and one in Europe for 5 weeks. So
wow.
Right.
There's
that hits all of those. Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
And the curiosity. Because right. The name of the card is the curiosity of love. So your curiosity has led you to travel to many different landscapes, but you also travel in and out of each other's landscapes as well, so to speak, within the relationship. So what is this person teaching me? How does he work with my restlessness? How do I work with his restlessness? How do we enhance each other's curiosity? It's, all of that. Absolutely. Yeah.
Right.
And
exactly.
the number 5 is restless. So yeah, absolutely. So, but you found someone to be restless with.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that works.
Yep.
Absolutely.
All right. So before we pick one person to do their little mini card reading, was there anything else you wanted to say about, is it possible for us to do this on our own, or do we need a book?
Okay. So the relationship book that I use and that I would highly recommend is this one, Love and Destiny.
Okay.
And it's written by Sharon Jeffers, Jeffers. And basically, essentially what she does, and what I do usually in my head a lot of times, is just every card in the deck, this is very easy, so not to confuse anybody, but every card in the deck has a numerical value. So as I've said often, hearts, clubs, diamonds, spades, that's the order of the suits. So the Ace of Hearts is the very first card in the deck, it gets number 1. The King of Spades is the very last card in the deck, it gets number 52. Okay, and then all the cards in between. So 2 of Hearts is 2, 3 of Hearts is 3, all the way, and then clubs, diamonds, spades. So you assign a numerical value to every card. You add the numerical value of your card with the numerical value of the partner you're looking at, and you get a sum total. If that sum total is greater than 52, then you have to subtract 52 from the sum total, and then you get the card of your relationship. If it's less, then you just look up which card is assigned. I mean, it's pretty easy. If it's, I don't want to, the more I talk, I feel like the more I confuse people. So it's
right.
Not difficult. The book is, it's self-explanatory in the book, and then you can read the entire description on your relationship. But it's important to know whether your relationship is a heart relationship, club, diamond, or spade. I think we had 1 diamond, we had a couple of spades, and we had a few hearts and 1 club, right?
Yeah. I was a diamond, and but I feel like the description totally describes me, but not my spouse at
Okay.
all.
So that's the Ace of Diamonds relationship?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So when you come together, so your card, what is your card individually? Which, what birthday are you?
124 and 21.
Okay, well, yeah, your partner is, he's a spade, and you're the 3 of diamonds. Let me make sure that, he's the jack of spades, and you are the 3 of, yep, the 3 of diamonds. So you are definitely financially creative, focused on different ideas and that sort of thing. But when it comes together with him, what you're saying is that's not a direction that he's interested in going in. Is that correct? He's
No, we're very opposite.
very opposite. Yeah. Jack of Spades is interesting because you're both Aquarians, but you know, he's the Jack of Spades is he's a youthful, creative, I don't know, could be very creative, could be youthful, but it sounds like it's not in alignment with you is what you're saying, that you don't see a connection between how, well, then is there another value that you seek, that you work on together? Maybe it's not money, or maybe it's not a new business. Is there something else that brought you two together that you might?
Probably family, but now family, you know, our children are grown, so I don't know. It's kind of I've been trying to figure out like this relationship, and like I feel like it's a karmic relationship, and what is its purpose, and like is it over? Where is it going? Is it going to continue? I'm kind of at that point right now.
Okay. Well, so that might be, I don't know, maybe it might be a good time for you to look at possibly having a reading, or for me to delve a little more deeply into all of his aspects. I mean, in this kind of a call, obviously, it's not something that I can get into in a deeper sort of way, but it sounds, that's how it feels to me intuitively, that you're kind of in a place of limbo and you're not knowing what the shared connection here is anymore.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
might be something to look at and see what's going on in your cards for this year, you know, for sure.
Yes.
So you can go to my website and check it out. And if you want to get a reading of any kind, I'd be more than happy to help you with that.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Awesome. So I'm going to pick Andrea.
Okay.
And Andrea, if you could just unmute yourself quickly. I think you're June 7th. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
June 7th. So you are the 10 of diamonds and the 8 of spades. 10 of diamonds is the one card of the 52 that is considered to be the blessed card, which means essentially that usually, I have to be careful when I say this because it's not always the case, but usually 10 of diamonds get good karma in this lifetime. Financially, it can mean, it means in a literal way, it can mean a lot of money. So 10 diamonds high up in the suit of money, or it can mean a lot of value. So you're very good at expanding the value of not only maybe yourself, but of an organization that you might participate in. You bring value to a group. You are, you know, groups support you. The 10 of hearts is your moon card, which means usually you'll find it really easy to have an audience or a group of people around you that usually are very, you know, very enthralled with who you are, or, you know, you feel like you've helped them reach some sort of place of value. It's card of expansion of values. So the 0 after the 1 essentially means that you take the energy of the 1 and you expand it exponentially. So usually 10 of diamonds can be really good at helping an organization financially. So let's say they haven't been blessed necessarily with the money in this lifetime, but they might be able to handle large amounts of money and manage that for an organization or a business. They understand money and how it works and that sort of thing. So they have a lot of good things in their life. They usually a lot of times can get what they want around relationships and stability, family, that sort of thing. So it's a really nice card to see. I always say that if you're the 10 of diamonds, you must have done something right in the past life, because usually I know quite a few of them, and they've all done fairly well in this lifetime. So that's the 10 of diamonds. The second card is the 8 of spades, and I just spoke to it a few minutes ago. The 8 of spades is a card of professional integrity. So 8 of spades people are just really, you know, if they're involved in an organization or a business, a lot of times they can be at the helm of it. They can be managing it or running it. They expect things to be done honestly and with integrity and with professionalism. Their energy is almost similar to a royal card in the sense that, you know, they just will not lower their expectations around how they perform, how they, you know, administer their executive functions. They're just very able to know how to run a business, an organization, that sort of thing. So both cards combined, very successful cards. 10 and 8, the numbers are both very powerful numbers. 8 is a number of manifestation, and 10 is a number of expansion of values. So really great cards. And you're Gemini, which also contributes to you being able to articulate what it is that you want or expect. A certain amount of certainly self-confidence with the 10 there. You know, born with it innately. It comes naturally.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That was a nice surprise.
Is it accurate at all?
Some of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think part of it I've really been growing into the past few years. So
Okay.
I think I'm owning it now. Yeah.
That's great. Yeah, and that's what it's all about. Absolutely. So, you know, starting to really kind of get congruent with this nature that you were given and start to really let go of what you've been told or what you've heard or family trauma issues or whatever that compromise that belief, you know.
Absolutely.
So I think that's great.
Absolutely. Thank you so very much.
You're very welcome, Andrea. Yep.
That's a good thing to point out, because I feel like I definitely felt that way. I used to get into astrology and read all kinds of things in my 20s and 30s, and a lot of it did not resonate with me at all. I felt like, oh, that doesn't sound like me at all. But I could definitely say in the last 10 years or so, I now can see a lot of things that I do feel like, oh, you know, my personality developed a little bit more. I'm more connected to what, you know, what I read about my purpose was supposed to be. Like, I think when I was early 30s, I picked up some book somewhere and I read that my life path was, I was supposed to either be running a spiritual bookstore or doing some type of like, you know, spiritual work along with either writing or publishing or whatever. And I was like, what? I'm not doing any of that. Like, yeah, I'm kind of interested in it, but I'm not a publisher, and I'm not writing. And, you know, at the time I was in marketing and sales and just getting into the whole holistic field. And now look what I do. I publish Holistic Lifestyle magazines. I'm like laughing, remembering like, oh my God, I remember when I picked up that book and it was just so off the wall to me. But yeah, I mean, I feel like sometimes you don't really develop into what your purpose is going to be until later in life or the middle part of your life.
That's right. I mean, it just, I mean, when I think back to the bedrooms in my life, many, many, many thousands of years ago, when I first bought my first numerology book or astrology book, I mean, I was in the, you know, cocoon of my bedroom, vowing to never share any of it with anybody because they would absolutely, you know, have me arrested, almost like Bernadette Glory. You know, I'd be at the stake because you know, here I am, a therapist or a counselor or whatever. I had this graduate degree, but it's interesting, when I first started all of this, I was looking for graduate schools because I wanted to take a course in counseling psychology, and this is how I happened upon all this stuff, because Antioch College was offering a curriculum under their curriculum for counseling psychology, they had astrology and numerology. And I thought, this is way back, thousands of years ago, how could a college that's offering a master's program possibly be offering courses in, you know, this voodoo nonsense? So then I started researching it on my own, and it was like, oh my God, this is making sense, but I'm not sharing this with anybody. God forbid if anybody knew, you know. And I think over the years, how it's evolved, even with my own children, they've really gotten to a point where, wait a minute, this is mom, and maybe what she's saying isn't really all that crazy. But I mean, it's been so many thousands of years to get to here where I am, where, you know, I mean, it's now I've got a website out there, and it doesn't really matter to me if I say to patients or people that are involved in the hospital business where I am that this is also what I do, you know, where I would have never considered that thousands of years ago. So anyway, you know,
Yeah.
it's evolution.
Right. And I find that people are actually, more often than not, more curious. They just won't open the door. But if you open the door, everybody wants to know about it. It's very, very rare when I encounter someone who's kind of like, oh, that's like, what? That's wacko, woo woo. You know, don't talk to me about that. And
right. True.
But probably a club person. But anyway.
Yes, I won't go there. All four of my children are clubs, and they've been the biggest.
But they can come around. They have, around.
You know. Yep. So it's nice to see. Absolutely.
Totally.
Yeah.
That's the challenge, I think, of that person's path who's a club, is to I think realize also that knowledge can come in many ways, shapes, and forms, and it doesn't mean it's wrong or bad or kooky or whatever. It's just learn about all different kinds of things.
That's right. And there's all different kinds of science. I mean, the idea that I put the word spiritual with scientist is like, woo, you know, but there's not just one science, you know, and I mean, that's, you know, it's poetic license in terms of how you're going to use that word, you know. So anyway, yeah, I agree. And so it's, you know, it takes us whatever it takes us, and we have to do a lot of shedding and peeling of the onion layers before we get to accepting who we are and why we're here and all that. So, you know,
exactly.
It's been a journey.
Exactly. It has. And thank you for another amazing class. And Marianne's website is her name, mariannecosterella.com. So hopefully everybody will go check that out and get more information. Her readings are amazing. So I would encourage any of you to definitely get in touch with her and find out more about that. And this has been recorded, so we'll have it downloaded and emailed out to everybody on Monday. And thanks again, Marianne.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Yeah, thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.